What would you do if you were handed an unreleased drone and only had 3 days to figure it out? This is the Antigravity A1, the world's first 360 drone that no one's really seen before. And I thought it'd be a great idea to take it to some epic locations and try to get some really interesting shots. But testing it turned into a lot more problems than I expected.
You got the shot? I don't know, it's 360, so maybe.
Okay, here's the start of this adventure. I'm starting in Southern California, and I have to drive all the way up to LA. I have to first pick up my buddy, Jesse. He's gonna come along with me on this adventure.
Hello! Hey! Let's go!
Let's do it.
And then we have to go from LA up to Sherman Oaks, which is kind of northern LA. There I gotta pick up this new drone. And I'm only gonna have this drone for 72 hours.
What is this?
This is the very first product Insta360 ever
No
released.
way.
Back in 2015.
The first product.
It's called the 4K beta.
So you might be wondering why I'm at Insta360's office. Well, Antigravity is a new company that was incubated by Insta360. And because of their collaboration with Insta360, they had one of these drones available in LA. So I was given a quick rundown of kind of how this drone works, but it's really gonna take actually getting out into the field to understand how to fly this thing.
All right, you gotta get your arms out the armholes. Yep.
How many of these drones are there right now?
You have the only one that I have right now.
Wow, so there's 3 drones.
There's 3.
3.
Yeah, please don't.
All right, I'm gonna try not to. That is one of the things I'm trying not to do is crash this. All right, drone acquired. Ready?
Yes.
All right, so we need to get out to the desert. I gotta figure out how to fly this thing. That's like step 1.
To the desert.
To the desert. So the first stop we head to was a few hours outside of LA, an abandoned water park that I've taken some drones before. But this time of year, it's pretty hot out here. And so we didn't want to spend too long sitting in the sun trying to figure this out. So there's a lightweight battery and there's a heavier battery. So this drone can be under 249 grams. I wonder how this audio is. There's a little wind here. Maybe I should put on the microphone. All right, let's figure this out. So we got to turn on the drone. Where's the button? It's got like these little feet that come out. Oh, here we go. Okay. I gotta put this thing on. This has an adapter that goes to the goggles. Where do we plug this in? Oh, there. It hooks on the strap. This wind just came out of nowhere, actually. A power button. Do you see a power button? So the craziest thing, when I'm flying this, I can look anywhere. Wherever I point this controller, there's like an additional box that pops up that shows what's front of the drone. So if I'm gonna pull the trigger, it's gonna follow this box. But then at any point I can look around and see the 360. Okay, this is a trip. Let me see if I can start these propellers. Okay, everything's working. I just can't get it to take off. Triple tap it up or down?
Yeah, up, and the props should start spinning.
Okay, because they don't. Let me just get this on, headset on. Huh. After about 30 minutes of testing, I found out 2 of the batteries just aren't working. So only the lightweight battery is working with the drone right now. So it's gonna cause a few issues because the lightweight battery has less flying time, and now I only have 1 battery to be able to fly this thing over the next couple days. But at least I'm able to get it up in the air. Success! Okay, I think I've got a feel for how this drone flies now. It's a really weird experience, it's really cool. So step 1, complete. Figured out how to fly this drone, figured out how to work it with the limitations that I have on a prototype. Now we move on to step 2, which is getting some cool shots with this drone. So what I'm thinking we need is some sort of object moving fast with a lot of stuff around it. So think like a 4-wheeler ripping through a forest, and we kind of go with it or we go against it, going through the trees, so that you can look up and around and like make the camera move while you're flying through, you know, this vehicle going fast. But I have an idea. We're gonna go to southern Utah because I got a place where we could get some fun vehicles and go play around in the forest. Road trip? Road trip. So the drone actually works, but here's the problem. I only have 72 hours total, and by the time we make it out to southern Utah, it will already be 10 p.m. tonight. That basically means I only get one full day to capture as much footage as possible before I have to jump back in the car and head home. It's kind of a risk, but if I want to push this drone to its limits, Utah might be the perfect place to do it. We made it to Utah. We're here. The plan is we've got a couple quads. We've got a side-by-side. We've got a beautiful forest. Check this out. I took the drone up earlier today, got a sunrise shot just to see where we're at. And there's some epic cliffs out in the distance. There's all this amazing trees and trails and all these different places that we can go. We're gonna try to get some good shots. I'm gonna try to get a lot of moving shots. That's the goal. So we're gonna mount the side-by-side with the Go Ultra a few different ways, get some cool shots as we're driving around. But we're just gonna try to find some different spots that makes sense for this drone to like fly through trees with something moving, or like along a cliff. There's some crazy cliffs up here.
Ready and nervous.
Let's go. I was also informed that we also have motorcycles here, so maybe we'll take those out too. How's this sound? So I'm using the Mic Air with the Go Ultra, and I have the Mic Air just mounted inside my helmet. The goal would be to get some shots with these roads and these trees. I mean, even this is gonna look cool coming up a road like this, but we need to get away from all of these houses before we start shooting, just because we need a little bit more space. So we just got to this point, but you gotta see this. We just got to the edge of the cliff. Man, it's so dusty. Let me clean the screen. How's that? This camera, I can't even see the monitor, but check this out. I'm gonna flip the camera around. Look at this view. Absolutely incredible. All right. I gotta get the drone out and just fly. A lot was going on that flight. I was flying over the cliffs and I could see these birds chasing the drone. Like, I flew straight so I could get the shot of all the cliffs, but I was watching them with the goggles as I was still flying and getting the shot. Also, being able to like dive down deep, like underneath the cliffs, and then be able to look up. It's such a different experience. Like, I feel like I'm just watching what's going on. Like, I pick my path of motion and I could get, you know, kind of in the direction, hold the controller in that direction, keep it flying, but then I could look around and just kind of experience it. Flying yesterday when I was at the abandoned water park, like, it was cool to look around, but a completely different experience when you get out somewhere like this, like with these epic cliffs, and just being able to look around and experience. You're there flying in the space. It's just it's different. That's the only way I can really describe it. It's not like any other drone I've flown. To solve the battery issue, I brought a big backup battery that I could use to charge when we're out here flying. But right now, I only have about half battery left on the drone, and instead of plugging it in and waiting to charge it up, I decided to squeeze in one more shot. And I really wanted to start focusing on getting shots of a moving vehicle through the forest. And that's when things took a turn. Jesse rolled the side-by-side, so hopefully I got that on camera. I mean, it's 360 and I didn't really see what happened, but I haven't checked the footage yet. We're gonna go find him. Let's see how he's doing.
Have you got the shot?
I don't know, it's 360, so maybe.
Or a DJI battery.
Hopefully did it hit hard?
Everything, it was like a slow, like.
Oh, okay.
I was like trying to give you like a dust thing. This will be cool. And then it like went around twice, and then it just like the second time around it tipped. I got a small injury.
First things first, we got to figure out how to get this Razor back upright, because there's no way we're lifting this thing. And once we got that figured out, next we need to head back to base camp and see if we could get this battery fixed, because if I can't recharge the drone when we're out filming, it's really going to put a strain on being able to get enough footage. And after that, I have to get back to flying, because right now, I only have a handful of usable shots.
Round 2.
We got all the footage that we originally wanted, but sun's still up in the sky. Might as well get some extra footage. We got these electric motorcycles to play with. Check this out, 2x2 utility bike. We're gonna go ride around. They're really bizarre because there's just no sound. They're all electric, so it's just quiet when you're riding them.
I thought I had such a good shot. The goal was to like sweep down from the sky and meet Jesse and kind of go past him, because in the 360, I could like follow him and then rotate the camera around as he like goes away. Do something cool like that. Something you can't do with other drones. But it went into automatic return to home, and I only have one battery, so we can't redo this. So I gotta go back and charge.
We got all the shots we came here for, but we couldn't miss one last opportunity, a sunset over the red cliffs. So we rushed back to charge up one last time and head out. The only problem is, earlier in the day, I lost connection mid-flight. And working with a prototype drone, there's always these strange issues. I promised myself at the beginning that I wouldn't crash this thing and bring it back intact. But for a shot like this, I'm taking it up one more time and hoping that it comes back. What an incredible sunset to finish up the day. I'm really starting to feel like get a hang for how to fly this drone, because it's all about creating paths of the drone movement and then just anticipating to edit later. One of the things I was just really playing around with was flying down these cliffs, because I knew I could look back up the cliff, I could look to the sides, but I was creating the path where it's more of a long straight line. So coming way up in the sky, coming down the cliffs and kind of easing up and out. And
this drone has sport mode, it has normal mode, it has cinematic mode. You know, it has all these slow, medium, fast. And what I'm finding is a lot of the time I'm prefer to shoot in the cinematic mode, the slowest mode possible, because when you're reframing, you're going to be adding a lot of motion. And so you don't need to have tons of motion in the shot if you're going to planning to reframe it later. A way to really fly this drone and really get the most out of it is these slow sweeping shots, like broad strokes. And then you go in and kind of paint with your panning in the editing software later. And that's how you create this kind of cool looking effects and these crazy transitions and whatever. You know, coming down these cliffs, I can look up at the cliff, I can look down, I can look at the arch, and you kind of explore. And just from a standpoint of like flying this drone in a place like this at sunset, it's just so much fun, because once you have it down and you're playing with these kind of lines, you start looking around with the drone, you start looking over here, you start looking over there, up, down, and you kind of experience the flight more so than like a typical drone that you fly, because usually you're just in one direction. And doing the whole head tracking on other drones doesn't work the same way. This is very much, you could still be flying the drone in one direction and really, you know, focus on this head tracking where you're looking around and you get to experience it. So even if you're not someone who's going to go out and fly for making videos all the time or taking photos, and you just kind of want to get up and explore like these cliffs, like this drone gives you that ability to actually just go explore places and really be immersed in that whole flight experience. I think that's going to appeal to kind of a different group of people than the people who want to play with this to make videos and tell stories and take photos and whatever. There's a whole different aspect to this that's new because of this drone. Yeah, it's interesting. I'm curious what you think about it. But I'm going to go enjoy the sunset. Sun's down already, but I'm going to enjoy the last bit of light here and wrap this up. And we have to hit the road bright and early tomorrow because we got to drive all the way back to the coast, which is a very long drive. But I think we got the shots that we came here for.